Kelsey Gibson, and 31, Bianca Brown.
Start with an opening statement, please. We'll take questions after.
I thought it was a very well played game. We certainly had tough competition. Not knowing very much about Edgewater, it was a means of trying to prepare and really work with the cards we dealt with. And girls did exceptionally well in some areas, but others we tend to still needed to be working on some things.
Coach, getting down 20-2, kind of a rough way to start. Fought back and got an explosive 7. Just talk a bit about the start. Why you got up?
Yeah, I thought we were on our heels early on in the ball game. I thought we wanted to be a little bit more aggressive. We settled for the outside shot versus working the ball in, and we wanted to do that a little early in the ball game to kind of set the pace for what we would be doing offensive-wise. But that's just a means of probably jitters and trying to work that out as they start on their quest for that title.
You know, Edgewater opened up a lot of pressure, a lot of energy, a lot of hustle. You know, were you guys maybe not ready for that kind of pressure and stuff that they brought?
I'm not sure if we were a little taken by it. I think they were very aggressive coming out. That was not expected. We thought that we would see some pressure, and worked towards that as well in our press breakers. But as far as how intense, you don't know until you've actually experienced it on the floor. And so I think it just set us back a little bit. We weren't quite sure of how we were going to handle that.
Were you prepared for their transition game off of the turnovers? Because it seemed like they were running the floor, and you haven't seen that a whole lot. A lot of teams don't try to do that against you.
Right, yeah. We've had some teams when we were in the tournament, and so we tried to play off of our Christmas tournament as to some of the teams that we faced that were 8A schools. And so it was a means of trying to prepare from that game footage. But as far as seeing the way they pushed it out and got it up the floor, that's certainly something that we were working with all season, and it kind of seemed as though they turned it backwards.
It also seemed like early on, every loose ball ended up in their hands, whether it just went to them or they hustled. I mean, just talk about those. I don't call them trash balls, but
Yeah.
they were getting to a lot of balls that were kind of out in space.
Yeah, I thought we were not aggressive on the boards. We really needed to do better there. We talked about that in the first 2 timeouts called in the first quarter, which is something I normally don't have to do. But I just felt that we were not aggressive in possessions, whether it was a loose ball or allowing for them to take 4 or 5 shots at the goal. We just needed to be very aggressive. I thought they did a little bit better in the second quarter with that, but it still was not in the means of it being consistent throughout.
It seemed like they had an answer. Every time you guys would start a run, you know, and start to claw back into it, they had an answer for you. What was that? I mean, how was it there?
Well, again, they're a very talented ball club. You know, you're working to defend the dribble drive as well as the 3. Most teams can do one or the other well, but it appeared to us as though that they could do both very well, and they had players that could actually answer or counteract anything any run that we had. So it made it very difficult. This was a very difficult ball game for our team.
Kyle, it seemed like in the first half, anytime you guys went inside, they threw it right back at you. Did that make it a little gun shy in that first quarter that attribute to that 20-2?
No, I think first quarter we weren't expecting them to push the ball and be able to sling it as far as they did, and it made it harder for us in the transition.
Chelsea, 20 points for you today. Obviously, not the result you were looking for. But what do you learn out of these last two years coming down and having the success that you've had? And what do you bring back next year with that success the last 2 years?
I'm gonna bring back. I'm gonna be even harder next year. I know what I need to work on to help my team get back to. Although we came up short, I don't feel like this is the last time they're gonna see us.
Bianca, talk about your game tonight. 12 points, 13 rebounds. It seems like when you were called on tonight or today, I mean, you kind of stepped up. Just talk about that.
Well, I just wanted to fight because I wanted to go to tomorrow. I wanted to play tomorrow. So I just know I need to fight today. So I just need to fight.
Coach, it seemed like you were trying so many different people early on, just trying to see if there was somebody. And I mean, Bianca ended up playing a big role for you. Just talk about it.
Well, again, we had to go with our players, our bigs, pretty much on the team because we were really losing. We were at a disadvantage on the boards. They were so aggressive and really pushing underneath. We could not come up with the rebound. And all season, Bianca's been consistent with that. So we definitely put her in early to try to go to the boards and gain some possessions for us. As well as just get the trash baskets and put back. So she did a good job of coming off and helping us in that aspect. We needed more help to make it a challenging ball game, but I thought from that perspective, we had to go early to the bench because we were turning the ball over quite frequently and we just weren't rebounding enough. And so I wanted to send a message out that we needed to do those things in order to be a winner.
Kyla, talk about their ability to hit a big shot every time you guys had a little momentum. Y'all would get it down to 10, and then hit a big three. How frustrating was that for you guys to have that momentum, feel like you were starting to do things right, and then they go right back down and hit a big shot?
Well, we expected that from them because we know they're a good ball team. And we just knew that it was something that they had to be beating teams by a lot of points. And they showed their composure out on the court.
Coach, put this run into perspective. I mean, this is 5 straight Final Fours. I mean, this senior class has been to every one of them. I know it's hard to look back and reflect on that, but just kind of put that in perspective.
I am still very proud of this team. I know that you're disappointed. We all are. But it really is a great accomplishment for a senior to have an opportunity to play for a state title game or even be in the state final for the last 4 teams all 4 years of their high school career. Very few players get that opportunity. They've been a pleasure to coach. I have really enjoyed my time with them because they were very hard workers. And when we look at, I'm just looking at the stats here, a loss of the first quarter, but every quarter pretty much won. Just built a big deficit in the first quarter, something we could not get out of that hole. And so for their work, I wanted to reward them in the last quarter to say that you would be playing to the end.
Girls, if just one of you could talk about Alexis Prince in particular, kind of what she was able to do out there, just Bianca or Chelsea, you guys were on her a lot. Just, what was she doing out there that made her so just dominant?
She was definitely fighting for the ball the whole time. She always wanted the ball in her hand.
When she got the ball, she did play smart with it, and she took her time with it, and she made things happen.